Your mom, my horse sense, and you know horses.
I see what you did there.
She's a solid human.
She is good.
Yeah. What's that tipping point where you have that, like, somebody is that way?
Like it's good.
Yeah. We just made a definition of, like, okay, you get like a solid sense of someone, like, okay, they're, what is that? It's like a feel, right? It's like a...
Yeah, I think it's like, what is their motivation and where is it coming from? And is it like, are they motivated just for themselves, or are they motivated like for other people or like greater community? I feel like that's part of it, you know what I mean? It's like, does this person want to do me harm? You know what I mean? Or like, does this person support me and the person that I care about? Or are they just supporting themselves?
Yeah, it seems like the tipping point of, like, realizing we all have ego, but we're aiming the we before me.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there's a clean tipping point, but I think that's...
Yeah, at least the aim is there. It's because we can't get rid of our egos or our selfishness, but at least we're, like, aiming for, like...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're still gonna have ego, and there's still a little bit of me before we always, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta...
It's hard
to look out for yourself before you can look out for anybody else. Like, that's just... You can't, like, okay, I don't remember if and I'm doing a visual, which isn't ideal for a podcast, but
Well, it's a video podcast.
Oh, it is? Cool.
Yeah.
So...
Let me see if I can get you in the frame.
Yeah, so if you have, like, I used to explain this with, like, my own family of like, 4. And say there's, like... I don't know if you can see this at all, but there's, like, this is me and my brother, and this is, like, my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
And it's, like, I need to take care of, like, the me before I can take care of me and my brother.
Yeah.
And, like, my mom needs to take care of my mom before she can take care of, like, her and my dad, or, like, her and my brother, or her and me, or whatever.
Yeah.
All of those individuals need to take place. And then all of the relationships need to be taken care of. So it's, like, then, like, me and my brother need to take care of us. And then, like, if I'm good and he's good, then we can take care of, like, our relationship. If my mom's good and I'm good, then we can take care of each other. And then if we're all good and all of those individual relationships are good, then as a unit, we can, like, be supportive of each other. But if you're missing any of those individual pieces, oh, come on, B, of, like, if you're missing, like, if I'm not taking care of me, and then I'm not taking care of, like, the individual relationships within that family, then we can't take care of, like, each other as a unit. Is that meant to you?
Yeah.
And that's, like, that's not black and white, and I don't think that's, like, totally clean, but the point of that is...
You're zooming in, though. It's very precise.
The point of that is that, like, you take care of self first, and then individual relationships, and then your community.
But I think if your intention is, you know, in order to take care of community, you have to take care of yourself first, then you're still we before me. Does that make sense?
Ooh, interesting. So I'm gonna, like, reframe that.
Yeah.
What I heard from that is that me before we is a form of we before me, if you're taking care of the me for the we.
Yes. Oh. T-shirt, or
that's a long T-shirt.
That's a long T-shirt.
That's
maybe.
A lot of words.
Yeah, maybe. Can you say that one more time? That was brilliant.
So the taking care of me before we is a form of taking care of we before me, if you're taking care of the me for the we.
Yes, the me for the we. This needs to be, okay, I figured it out. It needs to be a Dr. Seuss book.
Oh.
that's what,
totally does.
It can't be a T-shirt, it needs to be a Dr. Seuss book. And he's not with us anymore, is he?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I'm
Probably not, but maybe.
Yeah, no, I feel like an idiot, but
That's funny.
if he is still alive and writing books,
We could send that to him.
we could send that to him.
But we'd have to explain. He'd have to watch the podcast.
Every 30 minutes it shuts off, so I have to, like, observe it and make sure. Yeah.
That was good though. I feel like all we need.
That was all we needed.
Cut it off right there.
Yeah, seriously.
I like that though. I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
That you can be, like, it can be selfish and self-oriented and still be, like, looking out for your community.
Yeah, well, you know, a certain someone I was with years ago was a self-proclaimed narcissist.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that person was on that level or if that person was
just looking out for them.
Yeah. So I think it's a very calculated way of being, like, because I definitely stray on
Probably join this.
on the, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Tam.
Come on over. We're doing a podcast.
We're having a deep and meaningful.
Yeah, deep and meaning.
You like these.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And he's doing a video podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Basically, he's just filming it and we're just talking.
It's just talking.
Cool.
I have 2 rules.
What are they?
No politics and try not to swear.
Because we're keeping it PG.
Yeah.
I'm not really a swearer.
Oh, cool. There we go.
And I'll refrain from politics.
There we go. And I'll reframe. Good. Yeah, so... Oh, I forgot my thought.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's not a problem at all. That's the nature of this. It's just flowing. We're flowing.
I know you like this type of.
Conversation.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We were just, okay, so I can give a recap.
Yeah.
I just got it. So we were just talking, he just said that my mom is like good people. And then we were talking about what's the tipping point? Like what defines that? And like, how do you know? Like, what is it like when you meet someone and it's like, that's good people? What is it? And then I was talking about how it feels like sometimes with certain people, like they're taking care of themselves, like, but also like they're looking out for other people. So it's like, does this person care about me and do they care about like people I care about? And I feel like that's part of it. And then we broke it down to this whole frame of like how you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people, and about how there's either like me before we, or like we before me, and how taking care of self first, but having the intention of taking care of other people. So there is a version of it that's like the me before we is a version of we before me if you're taking care of me for the we.
right? Mind blown. Isn't that great?
That's cool. We have this whole like,
Yeah, that's how that develops. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember being on the airplane for the first time with Brendan and having them say, you always put your air, face mask air on first, oxygen on first, then your child.
Right.
I remember thinking, well, why would I do that? I
Right.
would always keep him safe over me.
Right.
And then I thought, well, I couldn't keep him safe
If
I'm not taken care of.
Yeah.
And so it kind of comes down to, if you're not willing to do the work to take care of yourself, you don't have the energy to take care of others.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
That's a really good like.
we deplete our energy, in so many ways that you have to take care of yourself first, or else you really can't be a really amazing human in this world, I think.
Yeah,
Take care of yourself.
and I'm not saying this to like blow smoke up myself. But I just thought like that's the reason I'm wearing this life jacket.
Right.
It's not for me, it's for everybody else.
That's what I was saying when you went up to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to take care of somebody else, you have to like have
You have to
have that on
Yeah.
first to be able to.
And that's just because I went through lifeguarding, and so I know a situation could arise where that's a thing. Like if I don't have a life jacket on, I can't save another
That's
person.
The same with like, I mean, I have like background in outdoor leadership, and then here I am just like not wearing PSA.
It's okay.
It's my birthday.
I got the jacket on for everybody.
You are the guide today.
Yeah, I give you the guide. It's your birthday.
My
Yeah.
jacket is off.
Yeah.
But that is true.
It is true. It's almost true on like a physics level.
Yeah.
Like if you can't breathe air, how are you gonna make somebody else breathe air or help somebody else breathe air?
Yeah.
Or if I can't float, how am I gonna help somebody else float
Yeah.
with this life jacket, right? So it's just physics, just science.
Just science.
I was telling Becca too. It's called like Emo 20 or something. I watch on Amazon Prime, but it's all about how your body's made up of all energy.
Yeah.
And if you keep going deep through the cells, you can change the way, of course, how your physical body, because it manifests if the cells are not functioning at optimal level, that they're not going to be able to provide your body with everything it needs. Because your body's like an engine. So if you're putting tons of negative energy into your body, or absorbing that energy from others, then your cells and the atoms inside the cells get sluggish, and they can't perform very well. So they were saying 80% of illness is due to blocked energy in your body, and it's a science. It's not just a knowing like intuitive. It's more of a science that we're made up of all energy. So there's a reason people's energy gets sluggish, like in a computer. If it's overwrought, memory's not working right, it can't function optimally.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we are.
I had to delete 6,000 photos from my laptop yesterday because it kept telling me that it was out of disk space.
My phone keeps doing that when I video for the kids.
Well, even doing this podcast, I had to get my phone prepared.
Yeah. What podcast are you doing?
He does these video.
Yeah, video podcast called Real You Adventures. So when I was in my early 20s, I did a year of outdoor leadership, expedition type of stuff. And we went mountaineering and river rafting and rock climbing and stuff. And I was like, this is cool. And then there was this one class called Adventure Education where it was in a conference room, like a big classroom. And we weren't outside, we weren't with gear. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And it was about the adventure of humans.
Oh.
And then like all that stuff outside, I love the outdoors, right? That was like at a level 7 for me. But this class was like level 11. Like I was like, this is my jam. So
cool.
I like the adventure of people.
Yeah.
He's not so much into like the adrenaline and
Yeah.
like, the outdoor technical stuff, like know the technical stuff.
Yeah, I
but,
can
like,
do that stuff, but it's not. It
it's not
doesn't.
like his
It's not my passion. Yeah.
Right.
It doesn't light his fire.
Yeah. So I liked
Like human.
human. Yeah, the
So
adventure.
is your podcast going now? Like I can tune into it?
Yeah, it's Real You Adventures on YouTube.
Real You Adventure. Oh,
does, like,
good. I'll
video.
watch you.
Yeah, I think this is episode like 18.
Good for you.
Yeah. Well, this pandemic I think has all inspired us to either be creative or reactive, and like that's
Yeah.
like it's so interesting. This is why I say I'm lucky. Before I got into all this, and the pandemic hit, I went to a workshop and there was a poster on the wall that had a picture of reactive versus creative. And I remember looking at the word reactive, and if you move the letter C to the front, it spells creative. And
Isn't that cool?
yeah, so I was like, okay, that's how our minds work too. It's like we can get reactive in our limbic system, or you can go to your higher cortex and
Never noticed that.
and get creative. And then so I realized like then the pandemic hit, and that just became my mantra. Like I can get really reactive with this, or I can get,
Really creative.
and so that's so I've done 3 different creative outlets during this time.
Oh, cool. What have you done?
Hair and Hats, a skit show with my son
Fun.
on YouTube, and then my health and fitness thing called Move Every Day, and then Real You Adventures, which is well, Hair and Hats. I mean, they're all my favorite.
Hair and hats is so fun.
They're all my favorite in different ways.
Hi.
Yeah.
But my thing is now I've created access points because when I get busy again,
Yeah.
I
Oh. yeah.
I have ways to just do this easily. When
Yeah.
before I didn't have access to it.
Good for you. I'm gonna
Hair and
be
hats
a.
is so fun. I have to say, hair and
subscriber.
hats has been the one that I've like.
You like Hair and
I've
Hats?
been the like most. What's the word? Like,
Well, because this is this having fun with me and my boy.
Hi, Trees.
what's the loyal?
Rosie.
I've been the most loyal follower to Hair and Hats.
To Hair and Hats?
Yeah, I feel like I've like watched a couple podcast episodes and then Move Your Body Every Day. I see every day, but I don't like
Yeah.
tap in as well. But
Yeah,
Hair
yeah.
and Hats, I watch every single one.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. So
I took a class
Oh
when
my
I was in
goodness,
graduate
wait.
school, and I thought it was undergrad. I thought it was.
She's totally chill. She loves it.
I was going to education, so it was called process work, and I thought it was
do you say process work?
process work.
Okay.
And I
That's a
thought
great
it-
word, by the way.
What?
Process is a great word.
Yeah.
One of my favorite words.
Yeah, I thought it was processes in teaching. Well, it's processes in yourself.
Yeah.
And Arnie Mandel is the author who he started this process work movement. And so the guy who I took the class from was a psychologist and did process work. And so I was doing process work. You did a lot of guided meditations and
yeah.
really connecting with your body. And I was really quiet in this class. And so it was lunchtime. We just finished some meditation work. And I didn't really let myself go as far as I needed to in the guided meditation process. And I couldn't get up because I was so dizzy.
Wow.
And then I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I literally can't get up. And so everybody left the room, and Herb was like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I am, but I'm really dizzy, like I can't sit up." And he said, "Oh, that's a really good indication that you didn't finish your work.
Oh.
So we need to go back in and finish this work that
The
we're
process.
working on, the process,
Yeah.
and I bet you won't be dizzy."
Oh wow. Good awareness.
And I wasn't dizzy.
Good
after
awareness.
about 4 minutes of doing what I needed to do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because your body blocks. I mean, if you can't allow yourself to go where you need to go, your body's going to block that energy.
I don't know if you ever saw this. I don't know where you can find it, but it's kind of horrible but cool. But they poured a bunch of cement down a huge ant colony.
Yeah.
It obviously killed all the ants, which I'm super against.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because all life is sacred. That's one of my jams. But out of that though, so they let the cement dry and they dug it all out. It's huge, interconnected. Have you seen that? And I think that's the brain and our consciousness or whatever. And so if you get stuck in one pod and there's no release or way out, that's like you're saying, sickness can collect there. And if you don't have a way to release that energy or a network to like see the way out of it, like probably what you were experiencing in that meditation.
That's what happens. I really believe that. You
Yeah.
know, and when you see people that are really unhappy and they can't really tell you why,
Yeah.
I think they're blocked.
It's a blockage. Yeah, for sure.
They can't deal with it. They don't know how to process it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and they were saying, I was interested in how our conscious brain is like the top part of an iceberg.
Yes.
And our subconscious brain is the other 80%.
Which is so much.
That's a lot.
Sorry, I'm getting close for the audio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's the only reason I'm like.
No, I'm fine with you, buddy.
Yeah.
So
The audio won't pick up if I'm not.
The process, the 80% that we don't even know what's going on in that 80%, but we can. And there are things that you can do that are not that hard to really tune into your body. Mm-hmm. So I think we use only a little bit of what we have.
Yeah.
Capabilities.
This is true.
I think it's so fascinating.
Have you heard of EDMR, rapid eye, or I don't know if I'm rapid eye movement, RD, rapid R.
REM sleep?
Well, it's rapid eye movement.
Yeah.
There's an abbreviation for it, and I'm not.
Isn't it the REM sleep?
Well, it's like someone will do this with their finger, or they'll tap your legs on either side and make your eyes go back and forth.
Yeah.
And what that does is it connects, maybe, the hypothesis is it connects your left brain and your right brain to create...
Are you talking about like EMDR?
Yes, EMDR, thank you, yeah. So that, to me, that like the ant thing, it opens up a pod of stagnation and it creates a connection.
That is so cool.
And I think that's what you're speaking to.
Yes.
So that releases that blockage.
Right.
And so I talked with someone who's my dad does this, and also this other person last week I was talking with, and they say after their sessions, the person will be like, "Oh, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm good. There's no problem. I don't need to see you again."
Cool. It's just like side.
Yeah, because they have perspective now. There's no need to dwell on the problem because it's free.
Your dad does sessions?
Well, he's a family counselor.
Oh, cool.
So he's big into the Enneagram and EMDR. Yeah, EMDR. Like a lot of things that I'm into, he taught me at a young age. He's kind of a frontier kind of guy.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
I was just telling Becca I need energy healer.
Oh.
I need somebody. You do that?
I don't know if I do, but I've been known to weird things happen.
He does weird things.
I do
need
weird
an energy
things.
healer. I'm pretty sure I
Talking about like your walker.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Go chill.
Yeah, I gotta chill with that one. Maybe we'll talk later. That's a deeper subject.
That would be awesome.
The therapist that I worked with, or LCSW, that I did sessions or facilitated sessions with in California, Jill.
Yeah.
She does EMDR with the equine therapy stuff.
Oh,
and
wow.
We came into one of the clients we were working with had like a trauma response at one point, and we ended up doing it was like in the arena with the horses, and the client just had a lead rope and she just swung it like from side to side to do like the cross.
Yeah,
And it brought her out of like her trauma response that she was having, and it was just the lead rope just back
the back and forth.
and forth.
Well, that's why I think something as simple as walking, and even you kayaking, like anything,
Side to side.
Side to side.
and that's why my big thing is movement.
Yeah.
Like once you start moving the body, something happens. Like it brings you into the moment, it connects all your pieces and parts, and it literally, just from my own experience, if I'm in a funk, I just go for a walk or a run. Within 5 minutes, I'm in a way better mood.
I agree with that.
I think it's really that simple.
Well, and like horseback riding, like it's funny because with horseback riding, like walking and trotting to me is a lot more like centering than like cantering, which like if you break that down into like gaits, cantering is like one side. It's not a rhythm.
Yeah.
And it's like 1 foot and then 3 foot, whereas walking and trotting are like quad movements where it's like 2 feet move together, or like each of the 4 feet move individually. And so they're more like centered movements.
So it brings you back to the.
Yeah, whereas like a cantering is a faster gait, and it's more like that gait is like 1 foot moves forward and the other 3 move together. So it's a lot less. It's balanced, but it's lean. You know?
Have you all seen the TED Talk about the woman who had a stroke?
I don't know.
Where her entire, let me get this right, her entire right brain shut down. And she's a neuroscientist. And so as she was having the stroke, she's like, oh, interesting. Now I'm my own case subject.
Oh, funny, yeah.
And so what she noticed is that the right and left brain are 2 different computer processing systems. Completely different brains. But we think of the brain as one unit. So the right brain is, I hope I'm doing this right. So the right brain connects to your left hand, which is the creative. And the left brain connects to the right hand. So her left brain shut down. Let me correct myself. So left brain is linear. It takes in information in time. So A plus B equals C. And then the right brain is independent of time and space and place. So it's very just like, there's no separation. So that everything's connected, everything's one with the right brain, and the left brain is very like, it puts it into categories so we can function in the world. And what she learned from that is that our culture is super left brain, like unhealthily left brain. And so a lot of other cultures have balanced out the right and left, and they're a little more chill. And that's why yoga is so popular, because that practice brings it all into together right now. Yeah, that's why yeah. So it's super healthy to connect both the left and right hemisphere of the brains, because it's not our fault that our culture is so left-minded.
Right.
And even for like my kinders that I teach, you do great big letters.
Yeah.
They do cross body work.
Oh, there you go.
Because if you don't do the cross body work, your whole brain's not able to absorb the information.
Yeah.
So you're only going to take it in on that one side.
Yeah.
A lot of whole cross body. It can't be not whole body work really, but cross body work.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and I think this brings us back to the original point of the conversation: is the we before me, or the me with the we. Is like the left brain is very me-centric. I got to take care of me. When the right brain is like, we're all together. We're all connected here. Like. Yeah, so it sounds like it's just a matter of opening up blockages.
I really think it is a matter of opening up inner blocks.
Like our current culture or aim for health and the whole big lesson of this pandemic is, releasing all that, creating the network. And because the whole world's going through this together. It's not just one place or one country, which is very, left-brained is categories, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine to function.
Right. You need to function that way.
Yeah.
But if you think about that, I was thinking about that the other day, how the whole world, we're in this together, but
I'm bringing it close for the audio.
we have people who want us to remain separate. And I just think the power of if we could bring everybody together and do how we've done like a minute of silence for something in the world. Like if we could do everybody in the world pull together and does a positive affirmation into the universe when like all of us, because we're all in this together, we're not separate.
Yeah.
But our governments make us separate.
Well, there's a lot of layers to that, and I think that is part of kind of the reactive fear-based thinking. It also relates to, I think, our evolutionary process in this planet, which we have to grace an understanding to. Like, we're animals, but also we're getting better. So I think of it as we're naturally animalistic, reactive beings, but it's time for us to be supernatural. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think our capacity for amazing discoveries and things that we don't know now that we can do or are capable of is huge. But I think you do have to get over the fear.
The fear, yeah.
Your
But
left brain part.
but also to thank it, because it's there for a purpose. It's there to keep you alive, right?
Yeah.
Like if the plane's going down, your fear response is like, oh, there's trouble. So it's telling you something. Oh, I need to like give myself oxygen.
Right.
And so I'm learning to befriend my fear and also my ego, and learning that it is trying to tell me stuff, but it's not who I am. So I think that's the big difference, is like my fear and my ego is not who I am, but it's a friend that's helping me out as I navigate this crazy, hard, weird world.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a great way to look at it.
Because otherwise it becomes an enemy that you constantly are in battle with.
You're fighting it.
You're fighting, and it's not going away.
No.
Like
It will just get stronger.
it'll just, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I thank it. I say, thank you for letting me know that this is a dangerous situation, and I'll do my best, but you don't,
You don't have to worry.
yeah, you have to worry. And then it kind of, I've found, I'm not always the best at this, it loses its strength or its power over the situation.
And I think that's when you end up sick, really sick,
Yeah.
is if you can't say to your fear or whatever the feelings are.
Yeah.
I know you're there. We're going to figure this out. If you keep trying just to push it away and not acknowledge it, it's going to come out in a different way. So if you're not going to let it out emotionally, it's going to come out through your body somehow.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere for it to go. It has to go
It has to
somewhere.
release. Yeah.
It has to.
That's good.
So I think that always is interesting to me. That, well, like when I was so dizzy.
Yeah.
My
And that dizziness was telling you something.
Yeah, and it was about hurting somebody in my, not literally in real life, but just in myself. My meditation was somebody else involved.
Yeah.
And what happened with the,
Hold on one second. My thing's gonna freeze, and I don't want to lose this. So we're gonna go to part 2.
okay.